Hello everyone, I am your friend. I hope you all are doing well and hope you liked my previous video where I provided you a brief description about medical billing, and I promised you to come again with a detailed video about Hrcm, medical billing, cycle. So, friends, to get notification for medical billing knowledge new videos, and please subscribe and share my channel. Also share your comments and like my videos. Today we will learn about the Hrcm flow cycle in detail. Hrcm flow cycle starts from patient appointment followed by eligibility verification, patient registration, medical transcription, medical coding, charge entry, claim processing and submission, payment posting, account receivables. Let's start with patient appointment, which is the very first step of Hrcm flow cycle. Patient appointment scheduling. In this step, the patient gets in touch with the healthcare organization or the clinic and books an appointment with the healthcare provider. Certain clinics use scheduling software while others do it manually. Staff responsible for scheduling must be friendly, helpful, and knowledgeable. Insurance information must be collected to verify the patient has coverage. Questions such as "was this related to an accident or work-related condition?" can help to identify the payer responsible for the services. If you identify the patient has insurance with a carrier your provider either does not participate with or is not a preferred provider for, let the patient know before the trip to your office. Communicate patient financial obligations up front, including copay and co-insurance payments. Missing this step could result in your provider not getting full payment for the services provided. After patient appointment, the next step is insurance eligibility verification. The most critical step in revenue cycle management is patient insurance eligibility verification. This step is paramount for the last bit of the procedure. The plan coverage and various benefits of the patient's medical expenses as stated in their insurance card must be critically verified by the provider or their assigned staff team. This would tell the provider and their assigned staff that how much the insurance will be able to cover for the costs of the services provided to the patient. Thus, they can inform the patients upfront for the charges that they have to bear, if any. Insurance verification is a process which includes validating and verifying the coverage, benefits and co-payment details of the patient and obtaining pre-authorization. It is important to complete this eligibility verification process before the treatment and medical services are provided to the patient. This enables faster payments and improves patient satisfaction. Failure in this step could end up in a huge unpaid claim from the insurance company and also burdens the patient with unforeseen heavy bills to settle. However, there is any exception in case of emergency. The above-mentioned step is done later after providing the services. After this step, the next one is patient registration. After doing insurance eligibility verification, the process of patient registration starts. Patient registration is a process by which a patient's name and identity are enrolled into the records of the hospital. This is required in order to provide services of the hospital to the patient and to keep a track of various services that are availed by each patient. This is also the first step to generate a medical record of the patient in which all medical details of the patient are documented. Registration is done with the objectives to collect basic details of patient related to identity, contacts, and demography, to create a unique identification number for each and every patient, to enter patient's name in the hospital's system, to generate a record of the patient for documenting further processes related to him/her. Medical transcription is the fourth step of Hrcm flow process. Medical transcription involves a medical transcriptionist listening to audio files recorded by medical professionals and transcribing these files into a document while checking for errors. It plays a very significant role in the healthcare industry by saving physicians and other medical professionals a great deal of time and effort and allowing them to focus on patient care. Medical transcription is needed for a wide variety of reports, including history and physical exam reports, patient discharge summaries, emergency room reports, X-ray reports, operative reports, and chart notes. Let's take a closer look at the medical transcription process. Step 1. Medical professional dictation. The medical transcription process begins when a medical professional records patient-related information into a phone, handheld digital recorder, or another digital recording device. It's imperative that the medical professional uses a technologically advanced recording device so that the quality of the recording and accuracy of the transcribed documents do not suffer. Step 2. Transmitting voice files. after the voice files have been completed, they can be uploaded to a secure server so that medical transcriptionists can download them and begin transcribing them. Step 3. Transcribing voice files into text. During this step, medical transcriptionists will listen to the voice files and use special foot pedals to replay the files. The medical transcriptionist will type exactly what they hear and save editing for the next step. In the event of an unclear or incomplete voice file, the medical professional who recorded it will be contacted and asked to clarify. Step 4. Editing transcribed files. 4. Editing transcribed files. After the voice files have been transcribed, the editing team thoroughly proofread and edit. Any errors or inconsistencies are removed here. Step 5. Sending the edited files. The last step of the medical transcription process involves sending the edited files to the medical facility through a variety of methods such as fax, modem, email, and internet file transfer. It's essential that these files reach the medical facility as quickly as possible. The next and fifth step in Hrcm flow process is medical coding, which done on the basis of standard codes assigned by NCCI and LCD. Let's understand this process in details. Step 5. Medical coding. Medical coding is the process of assigning standardized codes, and it is the uniform language that describes medical, surgical, and diagnostic services. Medical coding specialists translate medical documents into codes that determine the cost of patient care. This is a communication between the physicians/hospitals, patients, and the third parties. Medical coding is one of the most sensitive processes of the revenue cycle management preceding a claim submission. Accurate coding increases higher revenues and decreases the denials from the insurance companies. The coding process includes the following steps. First, access patient medical records through secured network using VPN connections. Second, coders review and scrutinize the documents for accuracy and split them into batches for processing. Third, diagnosis. Procedure codes and modifiers are assigned as per the coding guidelines and per client requirements. Fourth, coding is done in accordance with NCCI, National Correct Coding Initiatives, and LCD, Local Coverage Determination. Fifth, quality checks are in place prior to the charge entry process. Following industry coding standards are used. First, ICD-10-CM, International Classification of Diseases, for diagnosis codes. Second, CPT-4, Current Procedural Terminology, for procedure codes. Third, HCPCS, Healthcare Common Procedure Coding System, to code Level 2 and Level 3 codes. Step 6, Charge Entry. Charge entry is the important process in medical billing cycle. It is the process of entering appropriate dollar value as per the codes and appropriate fee schedule in the CMS 1500 form in medical billing software. These charges will determine the reimbursement amount for the physician's rendered service. All data that are added in CMS 1500 form should be error-free and in an approved manner. Charge entry is a next very important step which is done after medical coding process in medical billing. Charge entry in medical billing also means to entering of the diagnosis codes and procedure codes by seeing super bill. Along with this, they also enter the related information like date the service rendered, DOS. Units of service, CPT modifiers, authorizations number, referral or prior, provider details, onset date, billed amount, etc. Charges entered will determine the reimbursement for physician service, and this charge entry process is done by seeing the super bill, which is also called as charge ticket. Let us see the definitions of below terms which we come across during charge entry process in medical billing. Diagnosis code. Diagnosis code defines the details of illness of the patient. It is also known as DX code in medical billing. Procedure code. Procedure code describes the services or treatment provided by the doctor or hospital. It is also called as PX code in medical billing. Modifiers. Modifiers is used with the procedure codes in order to differentiate the medical services rendered to the patient. Date of service. Date of service is the date when the patient was treated from the healthcare provider. Units of service. It indicates the quantity of healthcare procedures of the claim in medical billing. Authorization number. Authorization number, also known as prior authorization number or pre-certification number. Provider has to take an approval from the insurance company before the patient receives the healthcare services in order for claim submitted get reimbursed. It relates not only whether a healthcare service of the procedure is covered but also define whether the healthcare services is medically necessary. Billed amount. Billed amount, also called as charge amount. It is the amount charged for each service performed by the provider and entered at the time of charge entry. Superbill. Superbill is a form listing procedures, service and diagnosis codes used to record services performed for the patient and the patient's diagnosis for a given visit. Once the charges entry process completed, we proceed to create the claim, which will be submitted to the insurance companies through paper or electronic, through clearinghouse, for reimbursement. Step 7. Claim processing and submission. When we talk about the medical billing process, the claim submission process begins after the medical coding and claim preparation. This process involves a healthcare provider submitting a bill to a patient's insurance provider for payment. The claim offers unique medical codes, or CPT, current procedural terminology, codes, that reflect the services rendered during the patient's visit. When a provider submits a clean claim or an error-free claim, the claim moves through accounts receivable quickly and payments occur quicker. Today, medical claims are submitted electronically via Electronic Data Transfer (EDI). To ensure proper claim submission, the following are the 3 steps to be followed. The relevant information in the claim form is checked by the Electronic Health Record (EHR) software. It checks whether required fields are filled along with their codes or not in the claim form. Patient information like name, date of birth, DOB, policy coding errors, name of the policy, etc., are verified. Lastly, the insurance payer also verifies the information of the patient present on the claim along with policy, coding errors, or whether the requirements have been fulfilled. Once the claim is submitted, it goes through an adjudication process in which the payer determines whether the claim is accepted, rejected, or denied. Accepted claims are paid to the provider, even though reimbursement is not always 100% of what the provider charges. Rejected claims, usually due to some type of error, are returned to the provider for correction with no payment. A good claim submission process means faster turnover rates in accounts receivable and better cash flow and revenue management. After submitting the claim to insurance companies, it may be paid or denied, and the notification for the same is received in EOB, also known as remit. From here, the task of payment posting starts. Let's understand Step 8, Payment Posting. Payment posting refers to the process by which payments that have been received from insurance companies, patients, and other entities, with the intention of settling claims, are applied to the appropriate claims or patient accounts, as well as any other accounts that may exist within the billing system. Also known as cash posting, payment posting is typically done in one of 2 ways. First, manual posting. This posting is done by administrative staff and often takes longer to enter the information. It also comes with an increased risk of typos and other errors, which can delay the medical billing posting process. Second, auto posting. This posting is done through electronic approach that takes advantage of industry best practices and digital solutions to speed the medical billing posting process for a more consistent revenue stream. In my coming videos, I will explain end-to-end details regarding payment posting, and I will share the details that one should know to become a successful payment poster in medical billing. Step 9. Account receivables and denial management. Accounts receivable, AR, and denial management is an inherent part of medical billing (RCM) processes. It is vital for a successful RCM as it leads to healthy cash flow. Effective accounts receivable and denial solutions can fix the leakage in revenue flow. The accounts receivable follow-up team in a healthcare organization is responsible for looking after denied claims and reopening them to receive maximum reimbursement from the insurance companies. The 3 stages of medical billing AR follow-up. Most of the medical billing specialists perform the AR follow-up in a very systematic manner, which is usually conducted in 3 stages. Stage 1, Initial Evaluation. This stage involves the identification and analysis of the claims listed on the AR aging report. The team reviews the provider's policy and identifies which claims need to be adjusted off. Stage 2, Analysis and Prioritizing. This phase is initiated once the claims are identified which are marked as uncollectible or for claims where the carrier has not paid according to its contracted rate with the healthcare provider. Stage 3, Collection. The claims identified to be within the filing limit of the carrier are refiled after verifying all the necessary billing information such as claims processing address and conformation to other medical billing rules. After completing the posting of payment details for outstanding claims, patient bills are generated as per the client guidelines and then followed up with the patients for payments.